are unaware of kids with autism, if they don't look them in the eye, they think they're being defiant. They're not. It's painful for them.
They have a hard time communicating. And it's not that they don't want to communicate, they just don't know how to communicate.
When they're having issues, when they're having behaviors, when they're hurting themselves, when they're being aggressive, it's because something's wrong and they don't know what else to do.
Sometimes think that they might have a, they're lower mental IQ, or they don't understand what we're saying, or they can't have the same feelings or the same, intellect that we have, and that's not correct.
Students have zero verbal ability. They cannot pronounce words, they cannot speak at all.
It's inside, it's hurting them.
Autism is a pervasive disorder that affects the brain, and specifically sensory, sometimes motor, and communication.
Their social delays are the biggest concern for them, as they get older and out in the workforce and out in the environment, because they still have to go to the grocery store, still have to go to school, so socially they need to know how to communicate.
One of the probably most recognizable things is that they're very socially awkward, but they don't know how to communicate very well, or when they do, it's very direct. Reasoning is not always easy. They can kind of see one particular thing and they focus on one thing.
No eye contact, or it's hard to get eye contact. Repetitive movements, flapping of the arms, that type of lining things up, picking just certain colors or certain shapes, and they have to have it kind of like the OCD type behaviors.
The symptoms of autism with sensory overload or sensory motor issues and communication issues, those are two very small portions of the brain, and they may have various different things in the environment or genetically that is affecting those same portions of the brain, but they're different from one person to the next.
Therapies that work for one don't work for another. Kids that are nonverbal versus ones that are verbal, you have to pick the appropriate therapy. Pictures work for one, and even if they're nonverbal, pictures might not work for them. And if they can read, it's more of a written, communication.
It's been difficult to really pin down causes and the specifics behind autism, and it's there's many theories or many directions that science has gone, and they don't have any conclusive evidence or proof yet.
One child with autism is one child with autism. Everyone's different.
When people with autism are in public and are having some sort of issue, whether it's sensory motor or overwhelming anxiety, they will act out. They'll have a behavior, and it may be aggressive. It may be aggressive to themselves, hitting themselves, or just screaming and crying and having that type of situation. And when others around don't understand or don't know, they look at it as a bad kid that needs more discipline, or maybe someone that is not stable.
I think, when you're younger, you have no idea, and you just see children in a different room, and you're like, oh, there are the special needs.
They're just like everybody else. They may act a little differently, but they don't want to be treated any differently.
And so let them persevere, let them do the things that they need to do, and then move on.
The body's not working for them all the time. They struggle. It's an inner struggle. They fight within themselves to do what's right. They know what's right, they know what's wrong, but sometimes they don't have control.
you can set something up for a kid with autism to be successful.
They understand so much more than we believe they do.
And then some, they're so smart.
Some of them are hilarious. They're be very, very bright. Go eat lunch with them. You know, ask them what their favorite thing to do is.
We are the ones that need to learn. We are the ones that need to have better understanding.
I love kids with autism. I mean, they're just fascinating to me.